Everyone is obsessed with AI right now. New automations, new AI agents, all these different tools. But what is actually helping you grow your business and move things forward? Is it AI or is it something deeper that's actually behind AI, the system or principle behind it? In this video, I'm going to be going through how leverage is actually the more important thing that we need to focus on. AI is simply the vehicle we choose to get there and obtain leverage. And so like I mentioned, AI is actually the tool, not necessarily the opportunity or the advantage. Leverage is. And so leverage, which I'll go into in this video, of what it actually means and the lens in which you can view AI to help you get the most of your output and to maximize efficiency. Because without the concept of leverage, AI is simply another tool, another feature, another hack that helps you a little bit here and there, but doesn't create real scale and growth for you. And so most people are actually using AI wrong, especially when it comes to business owners or even high-level employees. They're using it more for efficiency, save a couple minutes, rewriting an email, getting a bit of output there and using it as a thought partner. Not bad things, but they're not really utilizing it to its full capacity and getting real leverage, real time back, real output from it. And so now I'm going to go into a little bit more of what leverage is and how you can use AI through that. And so let's talk about this because it's an important concept to understand of what actually is leverage. And so it means you're getting more output from the same input. That's as simple as I'll put it for now. You get more output, which for you is likely money, as a business owner, some kind of result or metric from the same amount of effort. And so if you look at this diagram here, it's very simple, but it really breaks it down well. If you have a big lever, you can get more done. You can lift a heavier object, obviously, the bigger the lever is. But if you try and lift it on your own or you only have a small amount of leverage, still really hard to do it. But if you have a 100-meter pull and you're pushing down on it, you can move this weight here much easier. And there you can see you're getting more output from exactly the same input. You as a human, you're just using the lever. Your strength in your body to actually pull the lever down is the exact same. And that's really the beauty of it, is that over time, as you build this kind of leverage and when you have systems in place to do that, you're going to just get an outflow of output instead of, you actually doing the most, putting in more time, more effort, which you can only do so much of. There's really 4 ways that we can get leverage. Naval Ravikant has broken this down very famously. He's a big tech entrepreneur, that there's 4 different ways we can get leverage: code, content, capital, and collaboration. I'll go into each of these 4 here and what they mean and how you can maybe apply them to your situation. First one that we look at is code. And code is really, computers, software, automation. So AI definitely fits into this in a huge way. So think of different automations, Make, Zapier, you connect different things, you have it run for you. You didn't have to do anything. There's your leverage right there. Software, you build an app once and now it runs forever. AI agents, maybe you have a business that gets a ton of phone calls. You have an AI receptionist in place to answer all those phone calls, book appointments in for yourself. Now you don't have to do that for you. There's your lever right there. So code is a huge one, especially with AI. The next one that we get into is actually content. And so content is when you can create something and keeps working for you, especially digitally, think podcasts, music. This YouTube video, it's kind of cut off here, but different things that you can publish. Even a book to some degree would be a form of content leverage, and that you put it out once and it takes nothing from you. And so let's say you put out like a podcast or a YouTube video, you get 1 million views on it. There's unlimited upside that you can get from it, but it only took you maybe an hour, 5 hours, 10 hours, but the upside is infinite there. So there's your leverage from content. The next one that we get into is capital, and some people have trouble understanding this one. And capital is really using the money that you have to help you grow at a quicker pace. And so Dan Martell famously said, if you have money and you have a problem that money can fix, you don't have a problem anymore. And so really what capital does for you, it gives you the advantage of speed. So a couple examples that I wrote down to kind of break it down is paying to get a car fixed. See, I could learn the time. I could take the time to go fix my car, change the oil, whatever. But I value my time more than I value my money. So I would happily go pay someone that's, first of all, better at it than I am and can do it in a much quicker time frame. So I don't have to spend all this time learning it and even doing it myself. Couple other examples that I noted is paying a mentor. So what if I paid someone just like $5,000 an hour to get an answer that I could have spent hours researching, figuring out on my own, having the pain of going through it first, when I could just pay someone for the answer instead. Even something as simple for my last example of prepaying rent. It's like you actually get the leverage or the output effect from prepaying your rent. So let's say I pay for 12 months up front, but I actually get a discount. I only pay 8 months because I'm prepaying. Well, now that gives me extra capital or money that I can retain because I prepaid. So I want you to think of these examples, how they can apply to your situation, your life, your business. Where can you implement AI or other forms of leverage into your business to get the most output? And the fourth form of leverage, the fourth C, is actually collaboration. So collaboration is when other people can help you do more. So think of especially service-based businesses. Oftentimes their constraint is not the demand, it's always the supply. So you think lawn care, home cleaning, they need more people to create a larger output, to make more money, to actually grow. And so their constraint, or where they can utilize leverage the most, obviously all the other areas, but collaboration is huge because that's kind of their bottleneck a lot of times, is getting more people. And that kind of ties into my first example of hiring an employee to handle tasks. So if I'm running a business, let's say I have a plumbing company or something, I can do all the work myself. I can, but I'm limited in that I can't get more from my input unless I maybe hire someone. And so if I hire someone, they can take tasks off my plate, and now my time is more leveraged on higher value tasks. And so that could be something like partnering with someone to grow together. Maybe you have a business partner, employees, different things like that. Or even using SOPs, one I added in there. Maybe your team can follow a clear system. That could even tie into code to some degree, depending on how you create the SOP, if you make it with AI. But in short, collaboration is really going to give you the benefits of leverage by having other people do tasks for you. And so each form of leverage is so huge in that it's not just like a 2x, it could be a 10x or even a 100x. You think of people, for example, if you partner with someone or have an employee that's, on the same kind of page as you, your output isn't just double now, it's your brain plus their brain, which might even be a 10x right then and there. There's actually a verse in the Bible, chapter 32, verse 30 of Deuteronomy that says, "How could one have chased 1,000 and two have put 10,000 to flight?" It's like one is 1,000, two is 10,000. I thought it should be 2,000, but it's the multiplication, it's the leverage that's created with two brains or two people instead of just one. So now we get back to AI, because people think AI, oh, it's going to help me with all this efficiency. I can scale, I can automate, all this kind of stuff. And yes, AI can help you do that, but now we understand why it does that, because the principle, the system of leverage, and AI being the vehicle, is how that gets done. And so AI definitely fits into mostly code, software, AI agents, but because it's so advanced, because it's so helpful, it can definitely fit into all four areas. So like I mentioned with collaboration, helping you create SOPs. So kind of ties into collaboration. Capital, maybe not so much. And then even we get into content of like, you can do so much with AI to help you make better content. So it's kind of a multiplier effect on top of the already leverage from content as well. So if you're someone that's kind of aiming AI at random tasks, you're not really looking at, the best place to actually use it to get the most out of it, you're probably not going to get a ton of change. You might save a few minutes here and there, 30 minutes, but it's not really making lasting change in your business or in your life to the point where you can buy back your time, where you can, get a bigger lever and lift that weight much easier with less effort. And so sometimes you might feel like, maybe you accomplished something because, oh, I used AI to write an email, but it's like there's better systems out there to get even more than just saving time to write an email. If you aim AI at the bottlenecks, well, now not nothing changes, but everything changes. And so time spent on tasks that would have taken you maybe 8 hours, and these could be tasks like research, maybe it is writing emails, answering phone calls every single day about customer questions, about your services, all these different things, manual tasks that you can now automate with AI and leverage as the system or principle, now save you so much time. And so now maybe the tasks, they don't take you 8 hours, they actually take you 45 minutes, maybe even less, with how good AI is becoming every single day. That's really my biggest recommendation for businesses or people that I work with, is like, find the bottleneck first. If you just throw AI at the wall and hope something sticks, you're probably not going to have a ton of success. But if you know exactly where all your manual tasks are, the time wasters, time chunks, throw AI at that, and you'll see the output from there and see, real growth, real improvements. Because if you're doing something that takes you already 10 minutes, not a ton of time, and you automate it to get down to 5 minutes, well, you've saved 5 minutes. But like in this example, if you're doing research, you can automate that no problem, save hours and hours and hours of time. And so why would you not want to save hours of time as compared to maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes here and there? Either way, in each scenario, using AI is going to be beneficial. And if you've read James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, you know that getting 1% better every single day is actually going to be helpful. To really recap this video, scaling, growth, improvements, automation come from leverage, not necessarily AI. However, AI is very good at helping you implement the concepts, the 4 C's of leverage. And so I'd encourage those of you that are watching of you're looking to use AI, you're looking to automate all these different things, look through the lens of the 4 C's first, see what is the area that I may be struggling with the most, and how can I attack that one and get the most benefit there using AI because it will be so helpful for you. And so my final thought that I'll leave you with is tools don't create wealth, but the leverage that you use will. If you got value out of this video, if you feel like, hey, I didn't actually think about seeing AI through the lens of leverage first, now I can really implement AI into my business and understand that AI is actually the tool to help me get there, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos on AI, how you can implement it in your business and make lasting change and systems that will help you. God bless and have an amazing day.